back in 2001, I am convinced that my dad was a completely different person. Before his current job of appraising buildings for counties and banks, my dad was an adrenaline junkie. He went on frequent mountain biking, wakeboarding, and snowboarding trips. Believe me, this man has stories to tell.
We loved to snowboard in the wintertime, so sometimes we would like jump in the car at 10 o'clock at night and drive all the way to Snowshoe, West Virginia, sleep in the car till the lifts would open in the morning, snowboard all day, and then drive back that night. One of the things we liked to do a lot of times was video a lot of the stuff that we did. So me and one or two of my friends were really into kind of filming. Literally like a camera was probably about this big, and we would video a lot of our escapades.
Wait, you got these on film? So, I rushed to the attic. I mean, I had to find these tapes. Who knew what kind of movies I would find? I looked, and looked, and looked, and looked, until finally, I found a hard drive. I went to my computer, plugged in the hard drive, and I found them. 12 videos in a series they called What We Do. And what I found, well, it was interesting.
Face when he's dead. Hey Jason, why don't we get some tunes going?
That's his arm. Let's see the rest of him.
The toys are falling apart!
Ah! Watch out.
If only we had a buzz.
While there were a lot of out there ones, there was also a lot of really cool snowboarding videos. And there were a lot of these, over 40 minutes of clips. It was really interesting to see what kind of things my dad did in his youth, but also to see what kind of people he hung out with. Every one of them was interesting, and admittedly pretty funny, but one stuck out to me. I had to know, who is this guy?
I'm Scott Kaiser. I'm a friend of your dad, Jason's. I moved from California to Tennessee in 7th grade. And Jason, your dad and I became really good friends.
Describe Scott's personality. What was Scott like?
Well, yeah, he's not dead. Scott is, he is one of the most fun people you'll ever hang out with.
Yeah, I would say that I took it a little too far all the time.
So this is Scott, one of the core characters in my dad's friend group. Just like my dad, Scott was an adrenaline junkie. And this leads me to the reason that I am making this podcast. The reason I scoured my attic for tapes. The reason I called Scott from over 700 miles away. This is the... Our story starts back in 2001. My dad and a couple of his friends, including Scott, went up to Snowshoe to snowboard.
Probably the most memorable time of Scott getting hurt was the time that we were at Snowshoe.
I was with a group that I tended to put together trips to the beach and to the mountains in the same spring break every year. So I would always try to get to the beach and to the mountains. So that year we went to the Bahamas.
The stage was set. Scott had just gotten back from his trip to the Bahamas and went up to Snowshoe with my dad and his friends. On their very first day, they explored all the different tricks and rails and jumps that the mountain had to offer.
I don't think anybody actually saw it happen, but we all get back down to the bottom of the mountain, and he's kind of acting funny. We're like, Scott, what's going on? You all right, man? And he's like, and he was wearing a helmet and everything, and so we thought surely he can't be hurt that bad, but
it turns out Scott really was hurt that bad, but in an admittedly funny way.
He just starts asking us the same question over and over, saying like, what happened? And we're like, what do you mean what happened? He's like, well, what are we doing? And we're like, we're here at Snowshoe snowboarding. He's like, oh, right. He just kept repeating himself. We had the same conversation with him 4 or 5 times. He, for the next 24 hours, about once an hour, we had to tell him again where he was and what happened.
Hey, did this save my life? Do this. Hey, did this save my life? Hey, did my helmet save my life? I don't know, did it? I don't know. Will you? Can you remember?
Well, I went to the Bahamas for like a week.
After that,
I fell
keep
out
on
of
going.
a boat, and a fish bit my ear, and then I came here.
The interesting thing about a concussion, which I really haven't researched it, I just know firsthand, is that you can lose short-term memory, you could lose long-term memory, but in my case, yes, I lost all of that. I didn't remember anything about the Bahamas trip, and then I didn't remember anything about being on the snowboard trip.
This line came out of this whole interaction of his helmet basically saving his life, because I think somebody in the ski patrol was like, if he hadn't been wearing a helmet, he might have died or something like that. And so we just started saying that, Scott, your helmet saved your life.
So that's it, kids. There's your lesson for today. Always wear your helmet. You never know when it might save your life. A special thanks to Jason Blankenship and Scott Kaiser for interviews, as well as Mr. Sessoms for helping set up Scott's interview so incredibly fast. I'm Owen Blankenship. Thanks for listening.